Good morning, people. Jeffrey Howell's Carpet Cleaning. We are out in Vancouver, Washington again today. We're going to be doing some lovely steam cleaning in this home. And I believe we just have a couple of areas to do in here, but we're going to get them looking as good as we possibly can. So we're probably just going to use a good traffic lane cleaner and a good steam cleaning, probably around 450 psi, and we'll make sure we get it good and rinsed with some our cleaning solution today is going to have about I believe it has about a 9.5 pH, and we're going to use a good acid rinse to make sure that that all comes out and that the carpets are looking good and feeling soft. Here we are, we're all hooked up, got the truck fired up, got our hoses running in. Again, when you have to use two or more lengths of hose, you want to keep that hose as straight as possible, as not to siphon off any of your vacuum with unnecessary twists and turns and all that. So go ahead and go inside, grab our rake here. As a pre-spray solution, I've got a little bit extra here already mixed, ready to go. All we got to do is just fill that jug up with hot water and dump that guy in there. What I'm using is an encapsulation solution. Most encapsulation solutions can actually be used for hot water extraction as well. You just have to change the dilution, is usually a little bit different. But anyways, we also put a degreaser in there. And what I need to point out is a little bit of confusion, for some people that are watching some of these videos. Mixing a degreaser with an encapsulation solution sometimes breaks down the chemistry of the encapsulation, and you don't get the desired effect that you're actually after. So it's not really advised to be putting a degreaser into an encapsulation solution. However, with the VacAway products, they actually design their products to all be compatible with one another. So they actually have an encapsulation or an encapsulating degreaser in their line of products that you can mix with any of their encapsulation solutions. So that's when I mention that is actually what I'm doing, is using their line of products that are actually compatible with one another. So mixing products together actually boosts and modify them rather than kind of deteriorating, diluting, and breaking them apart as it would with mixing it with, a degreaser from Walmart. However, when you're talking about hot water extraction and traffic lane cleaners, it's a little bit of a different story. I'm not going to get into it right now, but maybe I should come up with another video explaining how the chemistry works in these different products. But let's go ahead and continue moving inside here. We're going to be doing these stairways. I'm not going to leave this here. I just put a little bit extra because, it would really suck to come up here and then realize, oh, I'm short 6 inches of hose. So I always try to give just a little bit extra just in case. But we are going to probably start out in this bedroom and pre-spray it, since we're already kind of set up in here. We'll just move all the stuff out of the way. Go ahead and start pre-spraying stuff, raking it out room by room, and then we'll begin with our extraction, the hot water. As we are doing that, the truck is running. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get that water piping hot. We're probably looking at about 230 degrees of water temperature. You don't want to really exceed that because it begins breaking down the carpet follicles, begin opening up and loosening, and that's when you get a bunch of that carpet fuzz. When you get a lot of carpet fuzz in your filters in the truck, it's generally due to a couple of things. It's either because you got cheap carpet that's just falling apart on you, or the water is way too hot and you're actually damaging the carpet. So I'm always wary about how hot the water actually is. So it might be a good thing to ask your carpet cleaner what temperature of water they use. If they're beyond 330 degrees, they could potentially be damaging things. So that comes straight from the Institute of Carpet Cleaning. Alright, here we are. We are about to get started. We've got pre-sprayed, raked in, we're ready to go. As you can see, we got pretty good, there we go, okay. Pretty good blast of steam there, about 450 psi. Typically, to get the hot water from the truck up through a cold hose that's been used for the first time today, I gotta clean about this much carpeting, or at least let about that much water out. It's not much, it's probably about maybe a 2x10 strip, 2x12 or something like that. And that pretty much gets our water piping hot at that point. So we are going to go on from there. We're going to go ahead and clean this all up and do rooms one by one and show you some good stuff as we go along. Alright, the pre-spray process consists of our pre-spray. It's in this 3M multi-sprayer. It works very good. It is pressurized with about 60-70 psi. I'm not sure. It depends on the model. Well, basically, you just take this solution and go back and forth in a sweeping motion to apply it. And that's really all there is. And then when you come across a spot, which I don't even see one really in here, let's just pretend that's a spot here. I think it's just a piece of debris. But for an example, you just put a little bit of extra on there, and it would just help to emulsify and break that down. So when you go back to the steam cleaning, it's all good. However, unlike a hydroforce or something like that, I like this because it's less hose and stuff that get in the way, or at least for my particular liking, I appreciate the multi-sprayer more. What we need to do is just go back with our carpet rake and agitate it into the carpeting, because it doesn't have quite the PSI as the hydroforce. However, either way, the extra agitation involved is greatly induces the effectiveness of the carpet solution that you're using anyhow. Okay, at the top of the steps here, we've got a little bit of touch-up paint here on the carpeting. What I got here is a ChemSpec paint oil and a grease remover, your typical POG. Typically I use a different brand, but I'm giving this one a shot today to see how it works. What we're going to do is we're just going to distribute a little bit. You can see some green on there, some paint that I got out earlier. I'm just going to put some on there, and then I'm going to dab and transfer that stain out. I only have one hand, so I can't actually show you with me doing this, but hopefully I'll get it up and I'll show you some results here in just a second. Let me put my phone down and then I will clean it up and show you what we did. So there you have it. You can't even see the paint anymore. POG is pretty impressive stuff. You put it on there and it just breaks down that and whatever is adhering it to the carpeting, and it comes right out. However, this stuff is a little bit leaves a bit of a residue, so what we are going to do is just make sure that when we clean the stairs right here behind me, that we reach over and just kind of extract this area with some hot water just to rinse that residue out, and everything will be perfect and fine and looking beautiful. Also want to do a quick show and tell of what we were able to accomplish today. Room look absolutely beautiful. Shut the light off here. I did crack the window open there just to get a cross breeze going through to dry this all out. Got the master bedroom, and then we do have some closet space down there that I'm not going to walk down there, just so we can keep this looking all nice and neat. Windows open. Same in here. Landing up here is all cleaned up. Window there open, cross breeze, and dry very nicely. And then we've got this one more bedroom over here. Two windows open, or cross breeze. So this carpeting should dry nicely. Then we've got one room downstairs, a couple edge, transition areas, and then we're going to clean up this stairway here, and we will be done. So when it comes to a transition area, what I like to do is apply a very generous amount of our pre-spray along that transition, and then just a moment, here we go. I take this our yellow brush here, and I am sure to agitate that into the carpeting as well as possible. And then we go back with our upholstery tool that we have on there, and we clean this edge up as good as possible. Typically, I think everybody has their own way of doing this. Personally, I like doing this because the customer absolutely loves the results that this gets, and a happy customer is worth bending over backwards from time to time just to do an excellent work, because it really puts an impression in their mind, and then they call you back later on. So if you're capable of doing a great work and you don't do it, you're better off not doing it at all. And then another thing that I have been doing lately, like when I have the hose plugged into the lawn and I'm cleaning wall-to-wall carpeting, I'll take the hose off and run it along the edge, because that obviously is a space that the vacuum cleaner is not going to get. Your edge tool may or may not get. Your wand is definitely not going to get it. So it's just another one of those things to leave a good impression, good taste in your customer's mind. They'll be calling you back later. So it's definitely worth the investment. The stairways here are a little bit more difficult than typical stairs because they got the bull nose on them, which makes them quite a bit more tedious, I guess, to clean. So what I will generally do, I'll clean this step, the riser, and back here, the step. And then what I'll do is I'll take a bunch of water and hose down this bull nose like this. Then I'll detach. Second. I'll take the upholstery attachment off and just run this along that bull nose and get them all cleaned up, as well as edging out all the corners. You can see all the debris that's in there. So I guess it's real awkward to do with one hand, so it looks pretty crappy, but that is the premise of what we do with the stairways. I'll go down and then show you results. And I want to conclude today by wishing everybody a happy, safe Halloween as it draws upon us. This is a beautiful autumn day. I hope the weather is as good for you as it is for Howell's carpet cleaning here today. And if you look across the street here, we've got The Walking Dead to greet us as we are packing up and leaving. Isn't that awesome? In fact, I was a little disappointed by last episode of The Walking Dead. I mean, if you're a fan of that show or watch it, a little disappointing, I think. I wasn't expecting it to happen that way. I guess if they wanted a twist, they definitely put a twist on things. They just kind of twisted it in the wrong direction. Kind of bites like sugar-free punch. But anyways, Howell's Carpet Cleaning, Vancouver, Washington. Have a good day. Until next time.